Hi, I'm Doug, from Dundee. I work in Scotland, but also work in England, and I'm going to be a no now. I think Brian summed it up. If we vote a yes, we're not always going to be guaranteed we're going to get what we want, because we'll have to have another vote to get a government in place. That might not give that chap the socialist government he wants, might not give the university people what they want. It's just too many things that are, for me, undecided.
OK. All right. Please, ladies and gents, let's just hear what these people have to say. And how close were you to that decision before today, anyway?
I was more a no than I was a yes
right.
before today.
OK. All right, let's hear from people who feel they've made a decision or are close to reaching it. Hello.
Yeah, I think the referendum is on the SNP's terms, and even though there are different left-wing groups involved in the yes side, it's going to be dominated by the SNP, a political party that wants to reduce corporation tax. How do you reconcile social justice and reducing corporation tax? I don't see how it breaks a neoliberal agenda.
I think what I've heard today is that there are positives and there are negatives on both sides. To be frank, I think they're rather balancing themselves out. So the final decision for me is going to be around the very simple principle that should we, the people of Scotland, elect our government and run our affairs ourselves? And I'm coming to the conclusion that we should.
OK.
My name's Len, and I too am a yes. What's the bottom line for me has been very simple. Is Scotland capable of running itself? And I think, whether you support SNP or not, I think we've proved that in the last X years.
A quick final pitch from somebody on this side. A quick final pitch from somebody on this side.
Yes, hello. I'm Bob from Edsall and Angus. I'd like to give the real undecideds here a few points to ponder. I'm firstly very proud to be Scottish and very proud of Scots' achievements. I cheer as loud as anyone when Andy Murray wins a set at Wimbledon or the Commonwealth athletes win their medals. But think about it. Did they do it on their own? Would they have achieved the same success on their own? I somehow doubt it. Similarly, great Scots of the past, take Alexander Fleming, James Watt, and recently Robert Watson Watt, we're just putting up a memorial to in Brechin. They would never have achieved what they did on their own. We are better together. We keep getting told things are foisted on us by Westminster. There has not, fact here, there has not been a single decision in Westminster that hasn't had Scottish input. In fact, 2 of the last Prime Ministers have been born in Scotland.
OK, so final point.
Well, and we haven't had many answers from the separatists. We'll call them separatists, not nationalists. I liken it to be in a plane and given a package and say this may or may not contain a parachute, which may or may not work, but jump anyway.
I'm not a nationalist, I'm not a separatist. I desperately want to be more involved in the world affairs. I want to see us save the environment, if we can. I want to see us fight for social justice. Now, this is about representation and self-determination. This is not about, what we get. It's not about the currency, frankly. I don't want the pound. They can keep it. What I want to see is a Scotland where the buck stops in a place where we are fairly represented. Now, I don't want to get all boring about electoral systems here, but we are fairly represented in the Scottish Parliament. Every single one of you, with your first vote and your second vote, is properly represented in the Scottish Parliament. My vote doesn't count in Westminster. My vote means nothing in Westminster. Your vote, whether you're Green or anything else, can mean something in an independent Scotland. We are fairly represented there. Make the central government the government where we have a say, every single one of us.